We're checking out some Saltburn filming locations.
Like many of you, we recently watched Saltburn, and along with a decent amount of horror and cringe, we were totally obsessed. The story, the twists and turns, and the locations. We found out that Saltburn House was actually a private home not too far from where we live. I spotted that a public footpath ran right by it, connecting the two villages, so we decided to pack up the van and take Tilly for her morning walk. Nothing like an adventure. So if you do come all the way up the road, I would say, obviously, be good with your parking. We're just going to have a coffee and then head off. But when you go, don't get this car in too much, down into the village again, there's loads of parking down there and a pub, which if it wasn't so early in the morning, we'd probably be tempted to go and check out. It's a nice red kite there. So the village itself is called Lowick, and it's nestled in the Northamptonshire countryside. There is a really lovely pub in its centre called the Snooty Fox, and I've heard really lovely things about the food, so we're going to have to go back at some point. There are places to park in the village, but as we were there so early in the morning for the dog walk, we did manage to park right by the gates. But as I mentioned, it's just always good to be mindful in a small village where you're going to park up. You can see here that the public footpath runs just alongside the house, and it's suitable for walkers and dogs on leads. The grounds leading up to the house are an enormous 200 acres and is known as Drayton Park. The house dates back as far as 1328 and has been passed on by inheritance only since it was last sold in 1361. Although this included extended family, this is currently owned by the Stopford-Saxville family. We are just walking up now to the famous gates where we first see Oliver arrive at Saltburn House. The director, Emerald Fennell, was determined not to film in an estate that had been used in any other films or programmes and wanted to keep the film in one location as much as possible, saying that it was important to me that we were all in there together, that the making of the film in some way had that feeling of a summer where everyone loses their mind together. And I think that's definitely a feeling we all got. Even filming in a 4:3 aspect ratio, she said, was to give the impression of peering in. The gates really do make an incredibly grand entrance into the house, and just that thought of Oliver arriving with his little wheelie suitcase, just with all of that to come, it feels kind of crazy. The gardens play a heavy part in the film, giving that long English summer feeling, maybe even a reference to A Midsummer Night Dream or The Go-Between, both works Fennell drew reference from for the film. From the footpath you can clearly see the formal gardens that we see throughout the film, along with the sunken feature pool and the decking. I must point out that Aidy did have a slightly better view, being a foot taller than me, but I wanted to be mindful that this is still someone's home, and I just wanted a peek as we walked the dog. The one main scene you might notice is missing from the gardens is the huge maze, with the Minotaur at its centre, which was actually modelled on Barry Keoghan's body. This was a combination of set design and CGI made to create it. You may have heard Fennell often call the film a vampire movie, and I do wonder if this particular scene is why. You can just make out here the steps that featured below Oliver's window, where Venetia would wait for him. Hiya. Can I have it? Good girl. Although not in any particular scenes of the film, we explored further around the house as the footpath leads you towards the next village. You really get a sense of how utterly grand and enormous this home is. There are 127 rooms that make up Drayton House. Both Rosamund Pike and Carey Mulligan fully immersed themselves in the project and lived in the manor throughout the filming. I heard Rosamund Pike in an interview recall how she never even left the grounds the entire time, saying how you can understand how you could really feel cut off for the rest of the world. I'm always behind. Hello! Is it coffee time? Coffee time? Tills is partial to a little bit of coffee. Maybe decaf for her. Hey! Let's go get some coffee.
It's alright. Paying attention to you. Just wait there. You got your water? Your water?
Tilly's coffee time. There you go. We don't double dip. I don't go back on this. She is quite keen on an oaty coffee. Nice milky oat milk coffee. That's ASMR. And like that, it was time to head home. I've included this little clip of us leaving the village because I just thought it showed how beautiful it was. Maybe you might not have visited the English countryside before or been to Northamptonshire, but there's some really beautiful areas. And these houses they're just so cute. So being in the van as well also gives you a really nice height, so you can kind of see over all the hedgerows, and I love it. After taking a walk around Drayton House, we decided we might as well go all out and drive to Oxford on another day to check out the filming locations, based mainly around the colleges there. Tilly stayed behind for this one, because she's not so much a city dog. Oxford's history really does revolve around the incredibly prestigious university established in the 12th century. The architecture of its 38 colleges in the city's medieval centre has led to the nickname of City of Dreaming Spires. I was certainly never remotely clever enough to come here. A quick mention for the King's Arms pub here, which is the name of the pub they often visit in the film, although I don't think it was actually filmed here. As director, Emerald Fennell was an alumni of Oxford. I wondered if it might have been an old haunt of hers. Some of the first scenes at Oxford University were filmed outside the iconic Radcliffe camera, which appears in many films recorded in the city, including Harry Potter and most recently the latest Wonka film. This iconic landmark is still a working library, and even Oxford alumni J.R.R. Tolkien, author of Lord of the Rings, remarked that the building resembled Sauron's temple. Next to this circular building is Brasenose College, one of the university's oldest and most fashionable colleges, founded in 1509. The scene just pictured a moment ago was filmed at the Divinity School located in the central area of Oxford. Built between 1427 and 1483, it is a masterpiece of English perpendicular Gothic architecture, renowned for its intricate vaulted ceilings. We're slowly mooching our way towards it just to get that really good look at the door that they all exit from, and they're all partying outside. Magdalen College is used both internally and externally throughout the film. The library scenes were filmed in the historic library here, which embodies an enchanting blend of Gothic and Renaissance architectural styles. Outside you can take a walk around Addison's Walk, which is on the River Cherwell, first taking a walk over that famous bridge where Oliver throws in a stone for his supposedly dead father, following a tradition held by Felix's family. As you cross the bridge, you'll come to an area where Felix had punctured his bike tyre and Oliver loans him his bike, and that relationship between the two of them begins. I like that these two ducks fancied being extras in the film and really thought they'd just show you whereabouts it was exactly Felix was sitting, before hopping over to the river, obviously. Look how happy he is. I did point out that better not have my name on it. We really hope you've enjoyed the video. Please give us a like if you do, and maybe a cheeky follow if you'd like to see some more. Leave any comments below about any of the locations, any questions you have, or maybe anywhere else you'd like us to try and find and film for you. Until the next time, bye!